Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, fabulous ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are listening because this is a podcast for ladies who are looking to become their best fabulous self. So I focus mainly on women who have lost themselves and who are looking to get back to themselves and to be even more fabulous than what they are. Here at BFab Todd, I am working on helping you become better one day at a time. There's no judgment here because we are all women who have went through something that has changed us. But on the brighter side, we learn and we grow and we are working at becoming better. So, hello, you guys, once again. That's my little intro. I hope you guys enjoy my little intro. I'm definitely getting a little, better with the format, better with the feel of being by myself on, this podcast. Because for those of you who don't know, I do another podcast with my husband. So it's nice to have him bounce off, each other. Like I have someone to kind of hold it down, or I can hold it down when he can't, or, it's different energy when you're by yourself is what I'm trying to say. So please make sure to go follow me on Instagram at Becoming Fabulous with T Todd. That's Becoming Fabulous with TEATODD. And you can also follow me on Twitter at BFab T Todd. That's BFab TEATODD. I am on not Instagram. I am on Facebook right now, under the same name, BFab T Todd. I have a Facebook page. Just been kind of working on getting that developed. I'm still in the process of trying to figure out what I want to do with this website. It's just a lot, you guys. It's a lot, For those of you who don't know who I am, let me introduce myself again, because I don't think I did that on the last episode, but I am T Todd. I go by T Todd on all the social medias. I am a wife, a mother, and a business owner. And I was a woman who, after having a child, my first child, my only child, I did lose myself. And I can openly say that now. Whereas if you had asked me that during that time or even shortly after when I started to get better, I would break down and cry and just feel so ashamed and feel so depressed and emotional about it. But I've always been a girly girl, always loved to, dress up, look my best. I've always been optimistic and just living life. I go after what I want. If I can't get it one way, I will go around and find it another way. But I don't know, after having my child, that was the hardest thing in life. But it wasn't about her. It was about me. It was definitely about me and some childhood traumas that I had experienced that I wasn't over. That I think a lot of times what we do is we learn to deal with those traumas. We swallow them and we learn to navigate and deal with life. And when we become adults, when we become a teenager, when we become a young person, when we become adults, we don't know, why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep running away from this same problem? Why is it hard for me to speak up and have a voice? Why do I do A, B, C, D all the way through Z, So, and that's because of things that happen in our childhood that, of course, we don't really remember because we keep stacking stuff on top of it. It keeps getting buried beneath the pile. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. So I did go to therapy. I am a huge advocate of therapy. Especially for my Black people. I always feel like everyone needs therapy. Black people need it more so. We still are suffering from the effects of slavery, even though that's a whole nother issue that I am not the person, I should say, to even dive into that. I can just give you my thoughts and my opinions on it, but we're not going to do that this episode. But what I'm trying to say is I just think everyone can benefit from therapy. Yes, I used to be one of those people who thought if you went to therapy, that just meant you were crazy. However, I realized that's not the case. And, sometimes we are ignorant in certain areas and we have to learn and grow, right? So I definitely did some learning and growing and realizing that people who go to therapy aren't that, they're normally not all that. So yeah, that's pretty much my backstory. I am on this journey right now to becoming even better than what I want to be. I think at some point, when I was going through my ordeal, I just wanted to be back to myself. And it was such a huge awakening to realize I am not the woman who I used to be. And I can't be the woman who I used to be because why? First of all, I had a huge change in my lifestyle. I had a baby, so I can't focus on myself all the time. I can't just go to the gym whenever I feel like it and work out, or go traveling, whenever I want to. I have a child, I'm married and all this stuff. So I just want to become the best version of myself I possibly can be, because I know I'm a good person. And I hope you realize you're a good person too. You're beautiful from the inside on out. And I think sometimes we forget that. We forget who we are, who we used to be, and who we were on the road to becoming, especially as mothers. Wives too. There's sometimes, wives who are without child right now, without, children in their home. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in our husband's world, in his career, in what it is that he's working to become in the future, that, we lose ourselves in that instance too. And then, you don't even have to be married or have a family. You could be single and you lost yourself because you dealt with a traumatic experience, something that completely just uprooted your normal existence. So yes, yeah. So that's that, ladies. I think I told you guys where to follow me, where to find me. Yes, I think I did say that. But yeah, I am just trying to create a community of ladies that is positive and uplifting, where there isn't any judgment, where we can share our experiences and our ideas and, everything that's going on with this with this journey, so we can help each other out. I just want it to be a safe place for you to want to become your best fabulous self. So today I just wanted to talk about doing a 30-day challenge. Now, I kept going back and forth with this challenge because, for one, May has 31 days. And I guess I could have done a 31-day challenge, right? But because this is going out on a Friday, I kind of felt like, well, maybe I should, if it's going out Friday, we could just keep it at the 30 days. But this challenge is kind of to help you kind of like kickstart your journey if you haven't already. But I feel like most of us, if you're listening to this, you probably have already started on your journey of becoming your best self. You know what I mean? So, and even if you haven't, there's so much you can still do, because these are just like little bite-sized things you can do daily to just work on yourself. So this challenge, I'm going to post it on my Instagram, and I haven't came up with a hashtag yet. Should I? I should probably look up the hashtag right now, huh? Tiffany. I already have the calendar like laid out of the different things that we can work on daily. but I just didn't come up with the hashtag. Let me see. I'm going to find one right now. BFAB challenge. I feel like I did find it, but I don't think I wrote it down. Yeah, I think it's going to be BFAB challenge. Yes, that was it. It's going to be the BFAB challenge. That's BEFAB challenge. Yeah, so if you want to participate in this challenge with me, please follow me on Instagram first and foremost, and even on Twitter as well, BFAB T Todd. So if you want to post a photo of you doing certain things in the challenge, please do so and then tag me, or you can just tweet me, and then do the hashtag. So in that way, I know you're participating in the challenge as well. Or you could just follow along. You can do it on, you don't have to tag me or anything like that. Because I know for me personally, especially if you have like a business account, like you can't, if the item just doesn't really flow with your brand, your image, your account, you just can't really do that. So, and that's fine. So I wanted to tell you guys a couple of things that's going to be with this challenge. So, of course we have like some of the nice, easy things. Like write out, what are you grateful for? So just one day, you just write out what you're grateful for. One thing I do want to tell you ladies to get is a journal. I want to say get a journal. It could be a regular college rule notebook, a composition book. It could be fancy. It can be one of those really pretty, journaling books that you get from like Barnes and Nobles or Michael's or something. But just get something where you can start keeping track of your progress. I am going to have another podcast about journaling where I'm going to dig a little deeper on that topic. But yeah, definitely just get a journaling book. So in that way you can keep track of everything. So like I said, on one of the days, I want you guys to write out what you're grateful for. The purpose of this is to really think about what you're grateful for. I know right now, especially with the shelter in place, there's a lot of people who are like starting to go stir crazy, getting cabin fever, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know how true this is, but I heard like domestic abuse is up, since all this has started. But the thing is, it's like, okay, we're home. And I know it's hard to be home, but what are you grateful for that you're home? Your body gets to rest. There's a lot of essential workers out there right now who, it feels like half the country is sitting at home because, they lost their jobs or, their business is just shut down for this period of time, or they get to work from home. But the essential workers, their bodies don't get to rest. They don't. There's people working at the grocery stores who are doing overtime. There's people working at the post office and FedEx that are doing overtime. These people are like overworked. So one of the things you can just write is, I'm rested. I get to literally go to bed anytime I want and wake up anytime I want. You know what I mean? And I'm not like really speaking on that for myself. I'm just saying like, that's what a person can say. So just list out the things you're grateful for. Yes, this sucks that we have to be inside, but write out you're grateful that no one in your family has personally contacted the virus or, who's passed away. That's something to be thankful for. So I think when we write down our gratitudes and when we are having a hard day, we can go back to that and look, and it kind of helps us get regrounded again, because we're sitting here and we may be stressed out, like, oh my gosh, my husband's working all the time and I'm here by myself with the kids. But then you go back to your gratitude journal or your list and you see some of the things you wrote down, and it's like, I'm grateful that I have my family. I'm grateful that we have a roof over our head. I'm grateful that my husband's still employed. I'm grateful that, so you read all those and it will kind of it'll calm your spirit down. It really will. So another thing I just put on here is go and check your credit score. In order for you to be fabulous, we have to know what our credit score is, ladies, because we just need to know. And I know I'm bad. I am so bad with my credit and my money. I don't want to know. Oh, excuse me. I just hit the thing. I'm old school. My husband pays for all the bills. And I know some women will disagree. Oh my gosh, don't let him have all that control power. Hey, this is us. We're good. So I'm good. And I know this is something I personally need to work on myself. I know I have a hiccup when it comes to finances, and this is something I need to dig a little deeper on. But that's so simple. And it's free, right? Isn't it free to just check your credit score? There's Experian and Equifax. And prepare yourself, because I think a lot of times we think our credit score is higher than what it really is. And I know that can bring you down a little bit when you think you have a 700 and it's no, it's 540 or, whatever a low number is. So just prepare yourself, but just know that this is part of the process. Like I've always said, it's easy to work on our outer beauty. It's easy for us to sit here and to look fabulous on the outside and to get that instant gratification from other people praising us for, our beauty, how our hair looks, what we're wearing, how we look pulled together, et cetera, et cetera. But we also, if I don't keep hitting this mic, I need to stop. Let me put my hands down. But we also need to make sure that we're working on our inner beauty, and we also got to work on our finances. I know. For me, that's a tough pill to swallow, is my finances. I don't have bad finances. I just have a lot of student loan debt. Had I known I was going to choose this life, this was really going to be my life, to be a stay-at-home mom, a stay-at-home wife, / business owner, I probably honestly would have skipped college. But we don't know what the future holds. At least I know I have my degree. Is it worth anything now? I don't know, because I still got to go back to school to get a higher degree. I went to school for politics with the hopes of becoming a lawyer. So it's I just got my undergrad degree. So I would still have to go back to school if I really want to become a lawyer and get into even more debt. Next, I have on the list, and I'm not going to give you guys all these. I'm just kind of giving you some examples. And this is where I'm having trouble with kind of wording this one, but find a calming thing. Calming. So what I mean by that is, let me drink some water. Oh, my lords, I didn't have any water in here. Sorry about that slurping sound. But find something soothing, calming. And what I mean by that is, I use essential oils. We've been into essential oils now, I think for 2, maybe 3 years straight. And I'm really getting into different combinations of smells. And I'm just realizing, oh my gosh, I've had this for about 3 years, and I just recently got into some different scents. And it's just mind blowing. It's not mind blowing, but it's just oh my gosh, it smells so good. It's so calming and relieving, not relieving, but relaxing is what I'm trying to say. So I just bought jasmine. I don't know if you guys ever smelled jasmine. I guess it's like a white flower. And I am in love with this smell, because before we would always just use peppermint, eucalyptus, and lemon. And I love that smell. I mean, that was great. It was energizing. It always made my home smell fresh and clean. But when I bought this jasmine, I don't even know why I bought the jasmine, but I just bought it and came home, put it in my oil diffuser with a little bit of tangerine. Yeah, because I bought the tangerine that day too, and it smells so good. I absolutely love it, you guys. So find something calming, soothing. I just started reading up on crystal, what are they called? Crystal bowls. So I get crystal singing bowls. Yes. And I had seen, I think I read an article about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I want some of those, because they're supposed to be like really relaxing and soothing, but they're really pricey because it's crystal. But, you know, if you can afford to do so, maybe you have some, you know, definitely get into that. There's also, of course, meditation and yoga is also calming to people. There was something else in my mind I was thinking. Oh, crystals. I don't know about crystals. I see crystals and I think they're beautiful, but I guess crystals and chakras supposed to go together. I don't know anything about that. And that's why I'm saying find your thing that can be calming and soothing to you, you know, and use that. Like for me, I put on my oil diffuser. Sometimes I'll just do it at night and it'll run all night. So when I come out of my bedroom in the morning, you know, of course the whole house smells great. But with this new scent, I definitely run it in the morning, and I have an 8-hour timer on mine. So it will literally run for, you know, most of the day, and it's just wonderful. So that is another one. Let me give you like a couple more. Oh, I did have one I wanted to find your love language. Do you ladies know what your love language is? I know mine. And it has changed. So if you've done your love language test 5 years ago, 7 years ago, redo it again, because you'll be surprised how much it has changed. Maybe it hasn't changed. If it hasn't changed, you know, it hasn't changed. But for me, my number one love language was always physical touch. And, you know, thinking back to childhood and memories and stuff like that, I just always used to love getting in the bed with my mom and like falling asleep, like cuddling up next to her, watching scary movies. Yes, my mom used to let me watch Friday the 13th. Okay. I remember watching Halloween, Exorcist. Oh my gosh. My mom loves horror movies like big time. And I remember watching them as a young kid. I think I was probably Maddie's age, if not even younger. I think I was about 4 or 5. But I used to love that. I used to love when she would give me hugs before going to bed. I just love that. And so for the longest time, my love language was physical touch. And once I had my daughter, my love language changed. It changed big time. What is it now? I forgot. It was acts of service. So if you don't know about the 5 love languages, I'm so sorry. You guys are probably like, what is she talking about? For those of you who don't know, there's a book called The 5 Love Languages. There's one, the original is for like just adults. And then they also have one for kids, and you can just Google it. I don't remember the name of the author. But yeah, Google that. And you can take the test online. You don't have to actually read the book. I think on their actual website, you can take the test. But what was I trying to say? Yeah, so my love language became acts of service. because there's 5 different love languages. That's what I was trying to say. There's acts of service. There's gifts. There is touch, words of affirmation, and I always forget the other one. Oh gosh, what is it? Let me pull it up real quick, since you guys are listening. But yeah, so my love language, as I'm pulling this up, is acts of service. And what acts of service is just that. I feel the most loved when someone is doing a service for me. And for the longest time, I didn't understand why I would be frustrated with my husband sometimes. So when my love tank was filled, we call it like the love tank, and we also call it the energizing cycle. But when my love tank was like depleted, of course he would come and give me hugs and, kisses and stuff. And I was just like, I am not feeling this. But once again, me not being a very vocal person, I didn't voice my opinion and voice my concern about that. So it turns out we taken the test. And like I said, it turned out it was acts of service, because whenever he would help me around the house, like when Maddie was like a baby, I just remember like I would light up, like thinking back to it now, I would like light up like, oh my gosh, he's in there washing the dishes. And I would just praise him like, thank you so much, baby, for like washing the dishes, or, just doing whatever, like an act of service for me, because that meant I didn't have to do it. I'm already burnt out with the baby. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm trying to find it, y'all. I'm so sorry. I probably should have like had it up. But yeah, so that was my whole thing, is act of services. I am not finding it so super easily. Just the 5. That's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for them to list it out. Oh, here is this it right here? Okay, I think this is it, but they have it so small. Okay, so words of affirmation. And words of affirmation can be anything, like you're just uplifting that person, like, oh, you're so wonderful, like you did such a good job, like you praise them. You're basically praising them. Acts of service, what I just said, like when someone's doing something for you. Receiving gifts, of course, that's getting gifts, you know what I mean? So you may be that person, you feel most loved from a person when they buy you something. So because I never really understood, especially Valentine's Day, like when girls would go all crazy because they got, some type of gift on Valentine's Day, or they just got a gift in general. And it's just like, okay, but that's because that's their love language. Physical touch, of course, that's, physical touch, like hugging and just being physical with someone. And it doesn't have to be sexual, because I think when I first heard it, I thought physical touch was sexual. But no, physical touch is just that. Like you could be sitting on the couch, and I know I do that with my husband all the time. We're sitting on the couch and I have my legs draped over him, I have my arm wrapped around him, because it's just, I'm physically being close to him. Even with my daughter, one of her love languages is that as well. Like me and her both share that. Like we love to just be next to each other. Like I just want her to cuddle up next to me, and she loves cuddling up next to me. And then the last one was quality time. That's the one I kept forgetting. Quality time. And that's just really just giving yourself to another person, in the sense of giving them your time. So, or them giving you their time, I should say. So for instance, ladies, gosh, I literally just went blank. My daughter's love language is quality time. And for her, she feels most loved when I'm doing something with her, when I'm present with her. And I can tell that that really is her love language, because when I am busy, and now I'm speaking on this and I realize like, oh wait, I haven't been spending enough quality time with her. Now that I'm speaking out on this and I need to get on it. But when I don't spend that much quality time with her, her attitude is different. And not to say she has like a bad attitude, but her demeanor is different. So yeah, I'm so happy I spoke on this, because I'm like, wow, like I've been kind of putting her off. Like she's like, Mommy, can we play Monopoly? And I'm just like, girl, Mommy has to work. I have to do this. But, we can sit together and, as you're working online with your work and for her class, and I'm doing my stuff on my computer. But no, she wants some one-on-one quality time with Mommy. And that's how she knows she feels loved. So that being said, I guess I will be playing Monopoly tomorrow. And then I'll just give you guys one last one on the challenge. I really do hope you guys join me on this challenge though. And I think what I want to do is have one at the start of the month and then have the other at the end of the month. That's kind of like, those are the two that you have to do on those days. But then the rest of them, you can kind of just like cross them out to what best fits your lifestyle, because I don't know, I could say May 5th, go jogging or something. And it's like, well, you had plans for May 5th and that's just not going to work out. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to kind of do the layout like that, where you guys get to choose what it is that you want to do on what days. But let's see. There was one on here. Oh, okay. Write out what your triggers are and ways to avoid them. Whew. Like, yes, this challenge is going to be easy in a lot of areas, but I think I have a few days in there that are going to be a little bit harder. It's going to require some deeper thought. You have to dig a little deeper in your emotions and your feelings. And it's probably going to open up some doors that you probably really don't want to go down. But at the same time, it is best if you do open that door, because at some point you're going to have to dig deeper. When I went through counseling with I call her my spiritual mother, because she's the sweetest lady, and she really is like a mom. She's like a mom to everybody. But she's like, I call her my spiritual mother. And one of the things she told me, because she's a counselor and she deals a lot with older women, with traumas, childhood traumas, young adult traumas. And when I was in there, I think I was in my early 30s, and she was like, you're really lucky you're going through this now instead of when you're in your 50s. Because she's like, I've seen so many women who have dealt with these issues that have been unresolved in their 40s, 50s, 60s. And it's draining them. And I can only imagine, because it was draining for me. And, I don't feel like 30 is old at all, but it was draining me. You know what I mean? And it was hard to get out of that place. So I can only imagine if you're a woman in your 50s and 60s, you already have this social stigma of, oh, you're an old woman, you're older. And because you're going through things, of course, you're not this happy-go-lucky, energized, free-spirited woman. So people are going to look at you even worse, like, oh my gosh, she's just this bitter woman. She's upset that her age has got to her or whatever, So, is that my daughter? Okay, sorry, I thought I heard a door. So she told me that, I was very lucky that I was going through this now to get over this hurdle in my life, because a lot of women do have some type of breakdown at some point in their lives because of unresolved issues that they didn't even know was there. And that was one of my issues, you guys. I didn't even know a lot of this stuff was here until I had my daughter. And when I had her, a lot of it was exposed, and it just opened up wounds that I didn't even know I had. So I do want to dig a little deeper in this challenge as well, because it will be beneficial for you guys. And, if you've already kind of come through that already, if you're on the other side of the gate, like where I'm at this moment, it shouldn't be hard. If it is still hard for you to think about it or bring it up, it's okay. It just means that you have to heal even more. You have to continue to heal. In one of my future episodes, I definitely want to talk about how to mother yourself, especially for those women who are in the midst of, having lost themselves at this moment. And it's really important to treat yourself the way that you feel like you should have been treated as a child. And, we'll definitely get into that. I am going to make note of that on my phone so I won't forget, because, when you're in the middle of talking, you just talk, and then you forget what you said. And I do want to come back and touch this. I want to touch on this topic because I think this will be very beneficial, very, very beneficial to a lot of women. So let me put this in really quick while I'm thinking about it. Yes. Okay. I put smother. I said mother, not smother. Okay, so with that being said, ladies, that's pretty much it for this episode. Like I said, I hope you guys do join in with the challenge, and that this challenge will help you to grow. It will help you to just take that step forward. Even if you take, like I've always said, if you might take 5 steps forward and take 3 steps back. That's okay. That's okay. You're more aware of what it is that you're dealing with. You're more aware of what triggers you, what sets you back, what hinders you, what roadblock is in front of you. And, excuse me. And you keep pushing forward, because at the end of the day, it's really upon us as the individual, as the woman, to fight for our happiness, to fight for our own joy, to fight to become the person we want to be. No one else can do that. As much as I love my husband and as much as I know he loves me, he can't physically, mentally, emotionally be inside me to help me feel any other type of way than the way that I feel about myself. He can be my biggest cheerleader, and he has been. My husband has been there for me when I couldn't be there for myself. And I still couldn't do it, as much as he would uplift me and praise me and whatever the case may be. I may be feeling down about my looks or something, and, ooh, baby, you fine, you are like gorgeous, like whatever. If I wasn't feeling that inside, or if I didn't convince myself in my mind that I was all that, or that I was, I was good or whatever, then it wasn't going down. So ladies, I just really, really want you guys to fight for your happiness, fight for your joy, fight for the change in your life that you want. And when I mean fight, that means you got to fight yourself. You got to fight to change your mentality, because so many times we've gotten comfortable with that negative mindset. And that's not good. It's not good at all. So, okay, my lovely, lovely ladies and gentlemen, Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. Please let me know if you're going to be joining in on the challenge with me. It should start, since it's 30 days, it should start May 2nd, especially since this episode is going out May 1st. However, if you do want to start today, go ahead. You'll just be done, by the end of the month, before the end of the month is over. If you join this challenge later on in the middle of the month, or even who knows, like this can be 6 months later after this episode has aired, still do it. Just still do it. Just take it day by day. Take it one day at a time, because that's all we really need. I think sometimes we just want to do it all at once, and we can't. And when we do, and we may be able to do it for a day, we may be able to do it for a week, maybe even a month. But then when it all falls down, then we beat ourselves up. So that's why I'm saying, let's just do it day by day. Okay? So please let me know if you're going to join, and I will catch you guys on the next podcast. It was wonderful talking to you guys, just letting this all out. So have a good day, ladies, and don't forget, let's be fabulous.